Today, I'm going to show you a simple and practical function, how to use a deployed ComfyUI service as a backend to create a real-time image-generating web page. Stripping away the complexity of workflow setup and parameter selection, even complete beginners who don't understand ComfyUI can experience the fun of image generation. It's really exciting. Open the web page I've created locally by browser. Since I'm not familiar with JavaScript, I developed it with the help of Copilot, connecting to the ComfyUI server running on this computer. Let me demonstrate its functionality. Type a girl into the input. Initially, a puppy appears because the web page sends the prompt word every second, regardless of whether I've finished typing at that moment. But quickly, as a girl is sent to the server, an image of a girl is drawn. Add brown eyes, and the girl gets brown eyes. Type blonde hair, and she gets beautiful blonde hair. Add outdoors, and the background switches to outdoors. Add some flowers, and the girl is surrounded by flowers. Type hat to give her a hat. Specify yellow flower to add flowers of yellow color, which matches well with the character. Further customize her outfit with white dress for a spring-like feel. Besides people, let's try animals. Clear the previous prompts and type a cat. To see a cat. Add blue eyes to give it blue eyes. Type jumping, and the cat starts jumping. Add garden to place it in the garden. Isn't it interesting? Okay, that's the demo. The functionality of this web page allows real-time changes in response to continuous input or updates of prompt words. As mentioned earlier, I'm not proficient in JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. The implementation of this web page relies heavily on interactions with the large language model. So please forgive this rudimentary and bare web page. I just want to share the logic of interacting with ComfyUI, believing that you can create a more polished interface. Of course, if you don't mind, you can directly edit this web page, replacing it with your own server address to use it directly. Later, I'll tell you how to do it. I don't mind whether you use it for commercial purposes. Just have fun. Next, I'll share the principles and details. First, on the server side, we edit the ComfyUI launcher, adding a parameter to allow cross-origin access in the startup parameters and specifying a listening address. Here, I wrote listen 192.168.31.150, which is the address accessible to the web page. I want to remind you that since ComfyUI itself does not have an authentication system, if exposed to the public network, you may need to implement authentication yourself to prevent freeloaders. How to interact with ComfyUI? ComfyUI provides two methods to achieve different functionalities. We can execute image generation operations by accessing the ComfyUI service through API, or we can create a WebSocket connection to receive notifications, including messages such as image generation completion. Taking the implementation of this web page as an example, first, I need to establish a WebSocket long connection with the ComfyUI server, remembering to bring the client ID, which is like making a call to the server, telling it who I am. The web page will continuously read the input box. If the prompt words entered by the user change, it will send them to the ComfyUI server via API, just like calling a delivery guy to send the parameters for image generation. When ComfyUI receives the request, it starts generating images. I chose the Lightning series checkpoint, which can generate a 1024 by 1024 image in a few seconds. After the image generation is completed, ComfyUI will notify us through WebSocket, telling us to retrieve the image with a certain file name. Then we call another delivery guy to get the corresponding image from the server and render it on the web page. That's the whole process. Let me open this web page and show you the code. At the top is the format and definition of the input box and image display box in the web page. Let me scroll directly to the JavaScript part. The preceding part defines some parameters, including server address, checkpoint, sampling method, etc. Base request body is a complete request body, representing the most basic image generation process. The next part is establishing a WebSocket connection, receiving messages. If a notification of image generation completion is received, the web page goes to fetch and display the image. The modify and send request body at the bottom is a predefined method that sends the image generation request to the ComfyUI server. Finally, there's a timer that checks whether the user's input has changed every second. If there's a change, it sends a new image generation request to the ComfyUI server. That's how simple this web page is. I'll share it, and if you want to try it, you can refer to it, modify it as you like, but please don't criticize the code of a JavaScript novice. Well, that's it for today's video. See you next time.